Yo, it's Car
and Zar,
and today we're giving you like a special story time episode or video. Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, so in today's video we would just want to share more of us with you guys. You know, we want y'all to get to know us more. And it's not going to really be an advice-y type of thing. It's literally like storytelling. We're going to explain to you guys
our love story.
You know, our love story. Basically over how we met, how we started dating.
And we're going to ask a few questions, but we're going to keep some of it a secret throughout the video so that you can see what we're talking about.
Yeah, and basically how it's going to go is we're not just going to sit here and talk to you guys. Basically, yeah, she has headphones, I have headphones. We've seen this concept through YouTube and other stuff all the time.
Shout out to KB and Carla.
Yeah, KB and Carla. Also, Jubilee. I'll give a shout out to Jubilee because we saw some videos from them as well. Basically, there's going to be certain questions where we are going to answer together. There's only some. But then there's going to be others where one will wear headphones and the other one will say the answer to the thing, and then it'll be vice versa. So it'll be kind of like we're telling each other our side of the story, and y'all be able to see it for yourselves. And then the questions, again, when we come together, we'll just share together. There's about 6 or 7 questions, so I hope you guys really get to know us more by the end of this video. Please stay tuned. We really appreciate all the love and support, but before we even start, you know, like, comment, subscribe, do the whole thing, you know, hit that notification bell, ding, and you already know what it is. We're trying to give you that GQC, that good quality content. And as usual, we're trying to give you videos every day. When I say every day, I mean every day. Try to give you content every day, 12 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern time. So apologize again. We haven't been here for a while, but things happen, but we're back.
Say that every video.
I know, I was just saying it for the first 2, but now we're back. We're ready to give you some good content. So let's go ahead and start this thing. So the first question will be together. The first question is how we met.
We met through my friend Za'Riyah, technically, because I was supposed to be going out with her for New Year's, and Cameron was there as her date. Yes, my best friend's date.
It wasn't
they weren't actually on a real date.
Yeah, it was like a funny type of thing.
You know, like when your like best friend is like your only option for prom, and you're like, I'm just gonna go with you. Like, that's kind of what I did for my prom. It wasn't that I wanted to date the dude or liked him. It was just, yeah, we're going together for prom because I'm not, you know, in Virginia anymore. And the same thing that he did with Za'Riyah. Za'Riyah was just like, oh, well, I'm not going alone. Everybody has somebody going with them, so I'm gonna just use Cam. So that's what she did. Yeah. And we sat across from each other at Cookout. That's where we went. It's a restaurant. And it was just a little silly goofball. And then we ended up at a party later that night. It was like a little chill party. I got to see a different side of him. He was dancing and stuff like that. We didn't really talk much after that day. I just seen some tweets where I was just like, hey, it sounds like you're going through it at school. Here's some advice, because he was struggling with college, and I noticed that through his tweets. And then there was a time I wore like a red wig on Snapchat, and he was just like, oh, your hair is really nice. And I guess I had like red lipstick on too, so he complimented me, but never thought anything of it. Like, neither of us did. So
the day was December 31st, 2016. That's when we met at the Cookout place.
Yeah, we met at the Cookout place.
We got at a Cookout place, and then it's actual restaurant, not a cookout, but it's called Cookout. But and then we celebrated New Year's and literally didn't see each other for a while. But we'll get to that in just a second.
Yeah.
So now the second question we will ask, or we will answer individually, is our first impression of each other. Who's going first? So I think I'll go first since you explained more of how we met.
So I'm gonna put the music on.
Okay, so we have her using headphones so that, you know, she can't hear and y'all can't hear the music. But my first impression of the beautiful Za'Riyah. So what I can say is, like, I wasn't really too fascinated by a lot of women. Like, not a lot of women really like caught my eye, like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? So, but when I first seen Za'Riyah, you know, she was a very cute girl. She had definitely this exotic look to her, which appealed to me as well. She definitely looked confident, you know, she, not on a cocky level, but like, you know, yeah, like, you know, I'm me, this is me, blah blah blah, and I'm not faking for nobody type of. I don't know why, but that's just how I got it. And plus, I would like to say also that, you know, I didn't really know Za'Riyah. I didn't really know her, so it was like she was popular and I didn't know she was, so it wasn't really an intimidating factor to me at all. And me being honest, if I knew that she was popular, then I definitely probably would have been slightly intimidated. I know that probably shouldn't be the case, but that's definitely who I was back in the day. But overall, you know, it was cool. You know, it was nothing that stood out to me, but it was definitely like, you know, that's Za'Riyah. That's nice. She's a very pretty girl. Yeah.
I feel like I saw him say something about me being popular.
Ah.
You got it all the way up. Can you hear me? Okay, you can't hear me. Okay, so my first impression of Cam, well, I would definitely say that I wasn't like expecting you to be such a nice guy. Like, he was definitely one of those type of people that was doing everything for his friends and always, you know, caring about everybody's feelings, and I wasn't used to seeing somebody like that. He was also very silly and goofy and bold, like, and that was different too, because Cameron did a lot of different cute things to flirt with me that I wasn't used to, because most people that I come across are usually intimidated by me for God knows what reason, but I definitely wasn't used to it. And he talked to me, like, the first time we had a conversation at the slumber party. We'll talk about that later, y'all, but he definitely talked to me for a long time. Like, we talked for hours, and basically, so my first impression was he's a really sweet, nice, gentle, and, you know, silly guy, and I really was into that, and I don't know, it just kind of drew me into him.
All I saw was light. She said nice. I think I heard the word or saw the word nice, and then she said I don't know at the end. That's all I know. Okay, so now the next question, individually as well, this is another individual question, is what are the events and how did we end up dating, basically? Like, what are the events up to leading us to becoming official boyfriend and girlfriend? So I feel like since you went first this time, or you went second the first time, now I'll do it again. I'll put these things on, and then we'll just keep alternating like that.
Yeah. And the reason we're doing this question particularly differently is because we both have different ideas on how the story actually went. Like, we both. Y'all
will get to see. Y'all will get to see what we think of how it happened. It's interesting.
I was going.
No.
Like, in my ears.
No. I was saying because I went first just now. Now it's your turn to go first, even though I just listened to music. We're gonna flip flop.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. So now you go first, and then trust me, it's good that I'm gonna go second because I already kind of know what her story is gonna be. So y'all are gonna be able to see if mine matches up with her.
What her story is gonna be?
Story is gonna be? Yes.
Why are you talking like that?
But go ahead.
How we started dating? Well, Cameron and I, we met, you know, obviously we met a year prior, but then it was like, I believe December 22nd or December 23rd that we went to a slumber party for somebody that one of our friends was dealing with at the time. She was going away for the military. So Cameron and I, we were both two single individuals. We might have had some situationships on the side, but we were both definitely single. But Cameron had this little game in his head where he would tell his friends, okay, so since it's boy, girl, girl, boy, it's like an even number of them. So he's gonna go ahead and plan out who each person is with. So that's what he did. And he actually tried to pair me with his best friend Casey, and he tried to pair himself with he tried to pair himself with one of the other girls there. And that didn't end up working that way. So what ended up happening was we both... Is there a song then?
I have to keep changing the song.
Screaming.
I still can't hear you right now.
So he's screaming. But so anyways, we basically throughout the night, there was different times where we were speaking to each other, but this one particular time where we were playing a joke with one of his friends who had a wig on, Cam just out of nowhere came behind me and like slapped my butt. And I was like, I didn't know how to react to that, but I wasn't used to that, so I was like, oh, he's kind of bold, maybe he's confident, but I didn't get that weird impression from him because he's really goofy and silly. So I'm like, he's probably just doing this because he probably just does this with his friends. So I didn't think of it any kind of way. But then as the night proceeded, we all were really lit. We were all having fun dancing. And then I was dancing by myself, and one of his other friends that was there pushed him behind me. And then he started then I looked behind myself and I kind of was like, I don't know if I feel like dancing on anybody, but they were like really cheering him on, so I was like, okay, whatever. And I danced on him a little bit and I stopped. It was just like a few seconds, but it was just for the fun of the party. And then they all paired boy and girl up together to do Twister. Everybody's game literally ended within minutes except Cam and ours. So ours literally went for an hour long. They were like, dang, there ain't gonna be no winner. And the reason it did is because me and Cam are very competitive. I did start kind of like like we got in this one position where Cam was like in front of me, so I kind of just like did a little hump on him, and then and then he got me back. He got revenge back on me and did that back to me. So I wasn't expecting that because I really just wanted to throw him off his game, because I'm like, oh, he's a dude, this is gonna make him feel not masculine, he's gonna give up, he's gonna throw in a towel. But no, he didn't. And so that kind of, I guess, made us feel really comfortable with each other that we played Twister. So at that point, his best friend was like, yo, that's all you, bro. Like, there's no need for you to try to proceed with trying to, you know, make her pursue me because she's feeling you. I didn't know that's how Cam felt, but I didn't know none of that was going on. I didn't know until after. So then the night came. We were all watching movies. Everybody was falling asleep, but me and Cam couldn't fall asleep. I'm not used to falling asleep in strange places that I've never been before, but everybody kind of had somebody they were sleeping with. Like, not in that way, but they just had somebody they were sleeping next to, like slumber party wise. We were all on a big long couch or whatever, and then there was another one right there. We all slept in the living room, but Cameron was on the floor. He was the only person on the floor, and he was kind of like on the floor right in front of me. So in my head, I'm just like, it's okay, you can come up here. And when he came up there, we did start cuddling. Me personally, I don't think I initiated the cuddling. He may say so, but I don't think so. And we were like spooning or whatever, and kind of fiddling with each other's thumbs in a cute way. And we were holding each other's hand the whole time, and like he was just like really warm and comforting and embracing me. And I really felt like we knew each other like for a long time. It was different, and I didn't know how to feel. And then, you know, obviously, I guess it like hours went by that night. Like, it was like already like 30 minutes. We both couldn't sleep. We tried to put on The Notebook. I wanted him to watch that because I really liked that movie. He wasn't really into it, but Cameron, I guess he felt really comfortable, so he started kind of canoodling me. Like, so he did kind of, you know, be on some grown stuff, but not too grown, because he was respectful. And I was definitely not, you know, I was not ready to take anything a step further, and he definitely didn't pressure me into anything. He wasn't even really pressing forward for that. He just wanted to see what was on my mind, what I wanted to do. And I told him, you know, I don't want to do anything, I just want to be here, like we can just cuddle. But then the next day came, and can you hear me? Okay, so he still can't hear me. Okay, but then the next day came, and he didn't speak to me. So I was really like, I didn't know how to feel about that. I was nervous, and I was just like, I hope this dude isn't telling his friends like all this stuff that, you know, happened and giving them a different idea, because like they're my friends too, and I was hoping that he wouldn't be one of those bad guys that just, you know, try to start a rumor or something like that, because granted, I don't know him that well. So even though I didn't get that impression from him, I didn't know, because the second day, like, he's not talking. So I felt like he was ghosting me already. And I'm like, dang, we didn't even, you know, take it to second base, third base, fourth base, home run, whatever the case is. Like, we didn't do all of that. So I was just like, So at one point, when he came back, because he had left with his friends to go somewhere, at one point when he came back, I asked him for his Snapchat, because I wanted to message him and tell him, hey, don't, you know, I hope you're not being a motor mouth, because the girl's mom had called him that because he kept talking all day that night to me. So she was just like, Cam, I hope you're not being a motor mouth. So I kept that going, because I thought he could put two and two together. Don't go, you know, talking or whatever. And he thought that that meant that I wanted to date him further and get to know him further. I'm glad he thought that, because then he started talking to me again, and we were talking, like, he didn't even stop talking that day. And then I did tell him that I was gonna steal him away from his little Virginia Tech girls, because I saw in his Snapchat that there was like 50 girls that he had a streak with. So I just wanted him to know that that's what I was gonna do, because I felt comfortable enough to say that. And little did I know, we were going to talk the following day on the phone while he was third wheeling, and we talked for hours, and then we kept talking every night, and then he ended up asking me to go on a date to the movies, and then we ended up going to Dave & Buster's instead of the movies because our friends were there. And at that point, he told me that night after Dave & Buster's, you know, do you want to be my girl, before he left for college. And of course, I wanted him to ask me that. But everything just kind of moved so fast, but I was happy.
You good?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
I know it was kind of long, but I'm
I was like, hey, is she telling us the whole relationship right now?
I'm gonna edit in a little.
No, you shouldn't.
No?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Don't edit. Keep everything exactly how it is, no matter how long it is. It is what it is. Time for the truth. Sign on.
No, I let her tell the truth.
I know. She be telling the truth.
Okay, go ahead. I definitely can't hear you over this.
Weird. Okay, so where to begin? Okay, so I'll start from. So we had the same friend group. I was in Virginia Tech, and she was still here, or she was actually also in college, I think, at the same time, maybe. But she hung out more with the friend group than I did since I left. But in high school, we didn't really hang out, you know, stuff of that nature. So, so we did have the same friend group, and one of our friends wanted to have a sleepover, and we all agreed. So we had a sleepover at her house, and everybody, the whole gang, came together. And we also made like a group chat. So literally within the group chat, you know, we were all talking, whatever, blah blah blah. And I'm gonna be real, I was like, in the group chat, I literally messaged her and I said, I flirt, okay? I flirt and stuff like that. Like, you know, I'm a flirty guy. I just be saying funny stuff and all that stuff. But, you know, I have flirty intent behind it, even though I may be kidding. But I texted in the group chat, I said, I'm gonna make love to you. And then she was like, I think the F not. And I was just like,
I know what he said right there.
I was like, but I mean, I wasn't like upset or anything. Like, I was just
I left that part out.
I was just like, oh my god, it's like, you know, I was just being funny, but I was just it didn't really pay me no mind. But I feel like that's how things really started to kick off. And so when I got there, I was one of the first ones there at her house, the girl's house. And then she arrived, she came through the bedroom door, we were all in the bedroom, and she was laying on the bed, and we were just talking or whatever, and then she was laying a certain way where her butt was out. So I was just like, okay, and then I don't know, something compelled me to slap her butt, and I did, and I just gave a little, and I just gave a little, that's all I did, and then she was like, but she didn't really do anything though, like she didn't say like, I mean, not that I can recall if she said anything like, don't do that, and if she did, I don't think I took it in like she meant it in a really mean way, but nonetheless it happened, but nothing was awkward, because I feel like, because she's told me this before, like she thought that was kind of like bold that I did that, but again, I'll say it's probably most likely because the way I flirt, you know, like if I'm comfortable, that's the way I'm a flirt, but to be honest with you, like I didn't really have that comfortability off rip with anyone, you know, and so it was crazy that I was just so comfortable to do it with her. Like I was just like, what in the world? Because I don't think I've ever done something like that before. But nonetheless, so night goes on, and the funniest thing is, actually before we even did the whole sleepover thing, like I came up with a list of who would be matched up with who, because we had like a perfect set of men and women, boys and girls, and so I literally matched us all up, and I was matched with a different girl, and I tried to get one of my boys, Casey. He's on my View of the Lakes podcast. If you haven't checked that out, please check it out, link in the description. But for sure, yeah, my boy Casey, I was matching him up with her. It was all really a joking manner, but I was also serious at the same time, because if it was happening, I would have been like, yes, but if not, I would have been like, but so like, you know, we were doing all the game or whatever, and then we were at the dinner table or whatever, and we were talking about it like, hey yo, I was like, from across the table, I was like, hey yo boy, I got you. He was like, nah, that's you bro, you know, and blah blah blah. And I think she overheard it. She was like, what are you guys talking about? It was either her or her best friend that said that, and I was like, we're like, nothing, don't worry about it. But so then fast forward a little more, and like everybody, so now we're playing twerking songs, and everybody's twerking, right? And guys and girls, right? And so then, you know, she's twerking on the wall by herself. She's not twerking on the wall, but she has her hands on the wall twerking, but she was by herself. So my boy Steve, who's also on the View of the Lake podcast, comes and he pushes me behind her while she's twerking, and then she stops for a second, and she's just like, but her stop was only for like 2 seconds, and then she continued on. Everybody was like, like it was lit once it happened, you know. And I'm, to be honest with you, like I'm not even a person that like that got twerk like that, you know what I mean? Like and I didn't really pursue twerk. If it happened, it happened. That's how I was. And it mainly didn't even start till college and stuff like that. But nonetheless, so that happened, and that was just like a little thing. But like the thing that really kicked everything off, even in a goofy way, was Twister. So we played this game of Twister, and everybody was matched up, and then people matched us up, and like, you know, we were playing Twister, and literally our game lasted an hour plus, and nobody even won. Like we just finished, and we just like called it quits afterwards. But during Twister, there was a point in time where she was behind me where she could hump me, and then she proceeded to hump me, like being funny. And I was like, oh, okay. And I'm not even gonna lie to you, when I see that type of stuff, like it depends on the person. Like sometimes I'll think like, oh, they're just being funny, hee hee ha ha. But sometimes I'll think of it as slightly funny flirting, and that's what I thought of it at the time. So that's why I was like, okay. So then coincidentally, I got into an opportunity to be behind her, and I started humping her, and then everybody was like, like everybody was lit, you know what I'm saying? And so anyway, that was fun. And plus I wore her shirt, and I made her shirt so sweaty because I was soaking wet, sweaty after that whole ordeal, bro. Like, oh my gosh. But nonetheless, I say that a lot. But now we fast forward to the end of the night. We're about to watch a movie, and I was just about to sit on the floor. She had a chair, and I was about to sit on the floor, and we were talking or whatever. And she was like, oh no, you can sit up here with me. So I was like, okay. So I sat up there, and like we were just sitting and watching the movie or whatever. And then, you know, I kind of leaned in a little bit, and we started canoodling. So now, you know, we're cuddling, and like we're doing like this thing with our hands. We're like rubbing our thumbs together and stuff like that. Like it's all cute. Like I know that she's really comfortable with it. And I did, here's like I don't know if she talked about this, but there was like a misinterpretation, because when I was in that situation, I don't get in that situation often. So I thought like maybe she wanted to do something. And so I asked her like, what do you want to do? And I don't know if she thought like I was trying to, you know, do it with her, but I wasn't really. I was just trying to see where her head's at. She was like, no, we just chill right here. I don't want to do anything. I was like, oh, okay. You know, so, but I did ask that question because I didn't know like what her intentions were. But anyway, so we end up falling asleep, right? And then the next day comes. So I get a text from her, and we were gonna meet up at the house again, because we all left after we woke up. We left, went to our houses, and we're gonna come back later. And so she texts me and she's like, what's your Snapchat? And I was like, I thought, because she actually already had my Snapchat because we messaged each other a few times before, but maybe she just forgot. So I was like, okay, this is what it is, blah, blah, blah. I later found out the reason why she asked is because she thought, you know, off of what we did, you know, the little Copperfield stuff, that I was just going around telling people, and she didn't want to have some bad rep. And, you know, it was funny when I heard that because I did not think of that at all, nor did I like, you know, anything. Like, I didn't even think anything of the situation. I just thought it was another normal day, which it's not, but that's just how I felt. And so, anyway, it was funny how that's how that turned out. I later found out. But, so then we meet, we're both at the house again, the girl's house, and we're at the table, and I'm like going through Snapchat and stuff like that, and we were having a conversation, and then she says that she's gonna take me away from all my Virginia Tech girls. And because I had a whole bunch of girls I Snapchatted, but it was just because it was a streak. Like, I didn't know what streaks were until I got into college, which is basically you just snap a picture of something and send it to somebody at least once a day or once every 24 hours. And so that's what I did. I just had a lot of them. And so she was like, I'm gonna take you away from all your Virginia Tech girls. And I was like, I don't have any, to be honest with you. But that showed me, like, I felt like she had interest, like, even more. So I was like, okay, bet. So we hang out.
I read his lips, y'all.
So we hung out and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I thought she was attractive and stuff like that, flirting with her, yada, yada, yada. So that night, still over there, she had left. And again, I want to be honest with y'all. So there was a girl there. There was a girl there that I had flirted with before. And like, in a way, I felt like I was going to flirt with her, but I didn't. But like, before I felt like I was going to, she had called me because she thought I was third wheeling, which I wasn't. And so she called me, and then I just talked to her, and then I ended up disregarding that girl. And which was crazy because I feel like, you know, what if I actually took to flirt with her or whatever, and whatever, and I didn't, you know, talk to her, what would have happened now? You know what I'm saying? But it happened. I talked to her for a long period of time, and like, her calling too also just felt like, okay, she's more comfortable with me, she wants to know me more, blah, blah, blah. And that led us to talking all the time, every day, calling each other. And then, you know, yada, 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 things got more comfortable, things got a little more frisky over the phone. But then it came to, we're gonna finally go out on a date. So I asked her out on a date. We were gonna go to a movie. I know, cliche, but I'm gonna go to a movie. But unfortunately, the movie we're gonna see was Jumanji, the new one with Dwayne The Rock and stuff like that. But we only got the very front row, and we didn't like it, so we got our refund. Because coincidentally, while we were in the movie theater, it was only at the very beginning of the movie. My friend Steve had hit us up and was like, yo, we at Dave & Buster's, come through. So we did, and we were having the date there. Unfortunately, I didn't do well on our first date because I didn't want to seem clingy, so I wasn't really hanging out with her as much as I should have. I was really hanging out with my friends more and stuff like that. And I later found out, like, she was asking my friends, like, yo, like, does he not like me or something like that? Like, what's going on? And so basically we had that clarification, or we had that talk to clarify everything. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, you know, I didn't want to be clingy or anything. She was like, oh my gosh, I thought like you just didn't like me. Like, I thought you were just like disrespecting me or something. I was like, no, I wasn't. But yeah, we had that talk. And then so now that day is the day before New Year's Eve. So now we transfer over, it's past midnight, it's now New Year's Eve. This is exactly a year later from the day we first met. And in the morning time of New Year's Eve, we were talking in this parking garage, and like we were just talking, and then it led to me asking the question. Like, I mean, everything was going by pretty smoothly, and like me personally, I felt like I saw signs of her trying to have me ask her. So that's not exactly like that's why I asked her, but how I am, I'm not really a confident guy. So the fact that, you know, I saw signs and like saw how she's showing that she wanted to be with me and what she was saying and stuff like that, you know, I felt like, okay, well, I'll ask. And so I was like, Za'Riyah, would you like to be my girlfriend? And she said yes. That was our first kiss, because we always thought New Year's was our first kiss, which is what I'm getting into. So we started dating right then and there, and then just a little bit further, we had a New Year's party, and we thought that was actually our first kiss, but I'm pretty sure we kissed during that time, so that's technically our second kiss. But like our first just genuine like connection kiss was on New Year's, and that was my first New Year's kiss. Like, you know, when the clock strikes and people kiss, that was the kiss that we had. But yeah, so we started dating December 31st, 2017.
You done?
Yeah. At the end of the day, you know, I think she said something about Bob Marley. She said, she said,
but no other man that's walking this earth can love me the way that you do.